These are 155mm artillery shells, seen here with a Ukrainian artillery crew just outside the city of Bakhmut. These are shells of the same type, fresh off the production line of an ammunition plant in Sweden. Two months ago, we saw the crucial role these shells played in holding back renewed Russian offensives across the front line in eastern and southern Ukraine. Now, the Kyiv Independent has been granted a rare opportunity to see how the shells are assembled before they begin their journey to Ukraine. More importantly, we wanted to understand what Europe's ramping up of defense production really looks like on the ground. We toured one of the production lines of Nammo, a Finnish Norwegian-owned defense company operating facilities in 11 countries across Europe and the United States. The shell bodies and explosives for Nammo's large-caliber ammunition are produced at other sites, but it is here in the city of Karlskoga in Sweden that the final product all comes together.
This is just the first step, so this is just a good example of how it works and how it looks. What we do here is to pre-assemble the grenades before we heat the grenades, the shells up, and then we fill it with the explosives. Basically, we put them in this kind of trolley, and then it goes further on in the process to be preheated and then filled with explosives. And later on, we will X-ray them to make sure there are no bubbles and no cracks in the explosives. We cut them in half, a few of them, to make sure that the explosive is as it should be. So we meet the technical standards that we need to fulfill. So we then take some samples out of it and send it to the laboratory and make some tests there as well. This is a preheat oven, you can say. So where we keep the grenades for a period of time. It's as hot as the liquid explosives. So it goes just through this one. It's like this big. And it hangs in there for a couple of hours. This is the main part. We have those three upstairs, the tremblers, where we melt the explosives down. And we pour it down to either that one or that pot. And where we finalize the composition, the temperature, and so on. And then we pour it, as you saw, we pour it into the grenades, like that, yeah. And then it goes to the cooling. These are smaller ones.
Smaller cylinders.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are another product, 155.
Yeah.
Need to have water on the floor to avoid explosives from get stuck.
The Kyiv Independent is here at the Nammo ammunition plant in Karlskoga, Sweden, one of several Nammo facilities spread out across the Nordic countries. This here is really ground zero of Europe's effort to up its defense production capacity in a new era of confrontation with adversaries like Russia and support for Ukraine in its ongoing fight against Russia's full-scale invasion. We're here in one of Nammo's assembly line halls. This facility produces large-caliber artillery ammunition and mortar ammunition, including what you see behind me, which are the most prized, perhaps, weapons of this war for Ukraine now, and the most needed 155mm howitzer shells. Along with ammunition plants all over Europe, Nammo is in a race against time at the moment, working around the clock to increase the production. Nammo has already shifted to a 24/7 round-the-clock shift schedule to just get more and more shells out, but they need to do more, and now they're refitting their entire facility with newer equipment, such as the robot arm you see there. They're working as fast as they can. More needs to be done, of course. But in an era when Ukraine's dependence on ammunition and weaponry from the US is starting to come under question, and could be even more so under question in a Donald Trump presidency, this step up made by European countries and European defense companies is going to be crucial for Ukraine to stay firm in its defense against Russia.
So we are in the middle of a reconstruction or extending our capacity, so it's a bit messy because we're actually putting up another 16 of these. These are the cooling boots that we need, where we put the grenades for cooling. And that is a bottleneck as it is right now, so we need to increase them. So by this summer we are actually installing another 16. So this is the cooling boots. We'll lower them into the funnel where we have the liquid explosives. And these rods are going down into the grenade, and then they're reversed slowly. And by that we are having a controlled solidification.
Yeah.
We overfill the grenades in these funnels because when it freezes, it gets smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. So at this stage, they're basically ready, right?
Right. The next step, we were getting there soon. We are X-raying everything to make sure there are no cracks or no cavities, because we are launching a product like this from 0 to 1,000 meters per second in a range of, I don't know, 7 or 8 meters. That's fairly quick. So there were no tolerances. We cannot have any cracks because that will cause friction, and friction will cause an explosion. On the other side of this wall there's a bunker. This wall is fairly thick, it's 1.5 meters roughly, because if it goes off it will be a big detonation. On the other side of the wall the ream the top of the grenades, so we can make space for a fuse that you need to have. So that is the last step that we do here. So we ream them, and then sometimes we also have a marking station where we put the markings on, so everyone can know what kind of grenade it is.
Within these simple pieces of metal filled with simple explosives is actually a huge momentum shift, not just for this plant, this company, this country, but for the whole of European security and world geopolitics as a whole. What is going on at this plant is a testament to Europe having to step up and think about its own security in the world arena, now potentially without being able to depend on the United States.